No more mid books in 2026. I've had enough. Hi guys, Hannah here. Welcome to my video and to my channel. I have been in a reading slump. I finished a book last night that took me a month to read, which is crazy, and I'm just tired of it. So it's Saturday today, it's almost midday, but we're gonna spend this weekend together reading, getting back on track, taking a look at my February TBR that I pulled in my TBR video. And we're gonna enjoy this cozy weather that we've got right now, because it's Brisbane summer, which is usually like 30 to 35 degrees every single day, and I am sick of it. But this weekend we have got some beautiful gloomy weather. I think it's like 25 degrees or something today, which is so much more manageable. So I think it's perfect. It's a perfect time to like cozy up with a book. Maybe I'll make myself like a hot chocolate or something. Just like get really cozy and chill out. I'm really excited to just like, yeah, take this cozy time, spend some me time, enjoy this gloomy weather. Let's go pick a book. I do want to pick something from my February TBR, which I haven't even started on. It's Valentine's Day today, actually. It's the 14th of February. And this is a short month, and I haven't touched a single book on my TBR because I've been in this slump. Oh, anyway, let's choose a book. Okay, I've got you perched on my bookshelves, which I think I actually kind of like this angle. This is cool. But while we're here, I thought I should mention I finished this book last night. This is an 800-page book or thereabouts. It took me a month to read this thing. I'm so glad that I finally finished it. Don't get me wrong, it was a good book, but also because it took so long for me to finish, I feel like I don't really have much to say about it. Like, it's just a book that's been in my life for a while. This is the third book in the Kindred's Curse saga, and I really enjoy this series, and the fourth book is finally coming out at the end of this year, I think, which is really exciting. And so, yeah, it was great to be in this world, but it just, because this book is so big, we weren't necessarily exploring my favorite aspects of this series. It just felt like a really, really long book. I didn't hate this book. I think I ended up rating it like 3 stars. I didn't hate it. It didn't do much for me. It did send me into a bit of a reading slump. So, and I'm glad that it's over so that I can experience some other things. So take from that what you will, but let's take a look at my TBR and pick which book we want to read. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there is a part of me that wants to like abandon this TBR and just read something else, because I have to say, I picked this up the other day. This is How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson. First of all, I love this cover so much, and it's got these sprayed edges. How cool. And it sounds so good. And I think it would be a really good shift from what I have been reading, which might help me get out of my reading slump. So I'm really tempted to read this. It's about Jamie Prescott, who goes to a speed dating event, and then the lights go out and the person that she has been talking to has been murdered, I think is what happens. And so then it's got a little bit of like, who did it? This person is maybe flirting with her through murder. I don't, it sounds really fun and weird and different to what I've been reading, and so I'm really tempted to pick that up. But I feel like I should respect the fact that I pulled out this TBR of books that are also gonna be really great. I know they're gonna be super fun to read. I'm gonna say immediately, whoop, oh my gosh, every time I film this, it's like I forget how to use my hands every time there's a camera on me. I'm never dropping books, ever. Every time I film, I drop at least one book. I do think 13th Child, I'm gonna immediately say not for right now, because this is a chunky-ish book. Yeah, it's like 500 pages, which is on the chunkier side, and given that I just finished a longer book, I don't necessarily want to be reading anything like that right now, so I'm going to put that back on the shelf. I think I'm mostly leaning towards The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, just because this is a contemporary setting, which in itself is a nice change from what I have been reading. I think there are mystery elements to this, I think. I've also got Rose Bargain and Half a Soul. I am definitely excited to read both of these, especially given that I recently caught up with the first half of Bridgerton season 4. And so I'm definitely like loving the whole like society thing, which I know both of these books have. I kind of want to steer away from the fantasy genre and shake it up a little bit more. So I think Inheritance Games is going to be the way to go. I believe this is about a girl who finds out that she, like, this old rich man passed away and she was the sole benefactor in his will. Is that what it's called? I don't know. She gets a whole bunch, like she inherits a bunch, and everyone's thinking, why did she, like, she didn't know this man, I don't think, and why did she get this inheritance? And then I think that there's probably family who are trying to like get this inheritance from her, and I believe there's an aspect of romance. I'm not sure, but I think it'll be a good change, and also I love this edition. Isn't it beautiful? I believe this is also YA, which in my mind kind of tells me that it should be a little bit more fast-paced, which is definitely something that I could use right now. So yeah, let's cozy up with this and let's get reading. Okay, quick update. I'm up to chapter 11, which is 43 pages in, so not very far at all. Unfortunately, I did just get distracted by my phone for like half an hour, which is really disappointing. But so far, I'm having a really great time. I just tried, the reason I got sidetracked by my phone was that I tried to look up some sort of family tree for the Hawthorne family. And then I ended up not being able to find one that I could really look into because they all had like spoiler warnings, and I was like, I don't want to get spoiled for this series because I think there are 3 books in this series, and I'm assuming there are going to be reveals about who's in the family, and maybe that's got something to do with why the main character has got this inheritance. But I'm just so confused by this family because we got introduced to all of them so quickly, like all at once, and I don't remember who anyone is, and I feel like that's going to be really important for this story for me to be able to remember who is who. So immediately struggling with that. Also, the FMC is really interesting. I feel like she could either be a really fun character to read about, or she could be really, really bland. She's like exactly the kind of YA protagonist where she's just like a little too perfect. You know what I mean? Like, she's got bad like circumstances, but she as a character turned out remarkably well, which is a bit sus to me. Anyway, oh, and I was also wrong. She's not not the sole beneficiary. Oh my gosh, beneficiary. She wasn't the sole beneficiary. Is that right? But she did get a considerable chunk, a good chunk of money. I am excited to continue, but also I hope that things become a little bit clearer. I mean, I am only 40 something pages into this book. I'm sure I'll get to know the characters better, and hopefully that'll make it clearer in my head who is who, because they just read out the will and they were saying this person gets this and this person gets this, and the protagonist is like, oh, this person stopped acting like this and started acting like this, and I'm thinking, I don't remember meeting this character. Am I supposed to remember how they were acting when we met them? Because I don't remember who are these people. Maybe that's also just got something to do with my brain being a little like frazzled, but I feel like it always takes me a little bit to get into a book, and so when we meet a lot of characters at the start, it's always a bit of a mind confuddling situation. So anyway, so far getting good vibes. I just need to get myself to knuckle down and actually read it and put down the dang phone. Put down the dang phone, Hannah. Update time. It's almost time for me to go to sleep, but I am up to chapter 47 now, page 194, which is like pretty much bang on halfway, maybe just over halfway through the book. My thing with mystery books, I know some people will read mystery books and like theorize the whole way through. I've got no idea where this is heading Absolutely no idea, and I am so okay with that. I'm fine with simply being there for the ride. Like, I don't need to guess the plot twists before they happen. I don't need that. I will say, I think I'm Team Grayson. There hasn't been much exploration of romance, but I do have to say, I think I might be Team Grayson. I feel like they're really pushing us towards Jameson, but he's not doing it for me. I don't know, something about the like reckless bad boy energy, it just, I don't know, I've always preferred a nerd. So I will say though, while I am enjoying this story, I can't say I'm particularly invested, and maybe this is just like where my mind is right now, but you know when you read certain books and you just like completely lose track of time, you like lose yourself in the world? This isn't doing that for me, but I am enjoying it, so I don't know, right now it's kind of sitting at maybe like a 2.5 to 3 stars. No, maybe at least 3 stars. It depends how it ends. Yeah, I am enjoying it. It's not doing anything spectacular for me right now. I feel like YA can be a kind of tricky genre sometimes, because it can either be the most brilliant, life-changing book you've ever read, the way that the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy is. I love that series so much. So excited for the novella coming out at the end of the year. And so that's a YA that I love, but then I feel like I've also read some YA that has just felt so incredibly juvenile and has just kind of ruined the experience and like the story with the way it was written. But this definitely is not feeling that juvenile version of YA. It's definitely not giving me elite the way that Once Upon a Broken Heart does, but I'm enjoying it. I don't think what I'm saying here is a spoiler, but it might be considered a spoiler, so if you haven't read this book, maybe like skip forward like 20 seconds, I don't know. But I am really curious about Max. I feel like there's more of a backstory there, and maybe there's context that we don't know about like her disappearance sometimes. I feel like it's not just her parents being like protective. I feel like there's gotta be a little bit more going on behind the scenes with Max. I completely forgot about this, but while I was doing my skincare after my shower tonight, I played the audiobook so that I could keep like reading while I wasn't physically reading, and I completely forgot that we're in Texas. These characters have accents, and I just completely forgot about that context. And then I'm listening to the audiobook and they've got these strong southern accents, and I'm like, what is happening? Because whenever I read, everyone just has like an Australian accent. Like they've all got my accent, because that's how the voice in my brain works. And I imagine that if you were in America, you'd probably assume everyone has an American accent. If you lived in England, you probably assume everyone has an English accent. So it was really funny to me to remember that, oh, these people have a very specific kind of accent, and I feel like it just adds a whole layer to all their characters that it just changes everything. It changes the whole vibe. Anyway, it's almost bedtime, so I might get a little bit more of this in before I absolutely collapse, and then I'll check in with you in the morning.
Staring at the tapestry above the bed you gave me, I still haven't washed my sheets, 'cause I still smell you in the bed you used to rest your head on. How the hell am I supposed to see? Can we both face our demons? Can we change like the seasons? I wanna make her better, wipe the makeup from her face. I wish I hadn't met her, I wish I didn't wanna say. I wanna wear her sweater and not break down in my room, 'cause there's nothing sweeter than the bitter taste of you. And the bitter taste of you.
title, what the hell did I just read? So I finished the book. I think I'm gonna rate this book like a 2.5 stars. It had a lot of potential, but okay, so I feel like I'm finishing this book with more questions than I started it with, and not in an exciting way, just in a frustrating way. I really feel like this book was written in a way so that you feel like you get answers, but you don't get any answers really, so you have to just keep reading the rest of the series. I feel like this book is bait. This book is bait to get you to read the rest of the series. And I'm not falling for it. I don't think I will be continuing this series. This was an incredibly frustrating read because it was equally really obvious. And also anytime there was any explanation of what happened or like a reveal, it was never clear. No oh my god, I'm so frustrated. I actually didn't realize I was this like passionate about this until I started speaking about it. I just went and watched 3 explanation videos on what the hell happened at the end of this book, and none of them have any answers because there are no answers. There are no answers in this book, and if you're reading a mystery, you should at least finish it feeling like you have some sort of like progress. You should feel like you have some sort of progress, but this book was full of like red herrings. The whole thing was a red herring. The ending was a red herring. There is no actual conclusion at the end of this book. It's, oh my god, so frustrating. Also, there was one of the like character dynamics in this book, it was giving big Vampire Diaries, Damon, Catherine, Stefan. I almost said Stephen. I was like, that's not his name. Stefan. Big that dynamic, which as someone whose least favorite character in the Vampire Diaries was Catherine, I hated it. I hate that dynamic so much. It's so infuriating. Why are my feelings this big for a silly little YA mystery? Overall, do I think that if I had nothing better to read, I could continue the series and there might be some interesting reveals and that the author was setting up for a more complex story to be revealed through the rest of the series? Yeah, if I had nothing better to read, I'd probably go for it. But I can think of so many books that I would rather read than expose myself to these characters for more time. And how can they all have such incredible educations and still be the dumbest characters I've ever come across? I don't understand. And we started this book, right? Our introduction to the FMC was like, she's so smart. She literally gets like 100% on her tests, and like they think she's cheating at school because she's just so smart. And then we read the rest of the book and I'm like, is this the same person? Were we supposed to believe this girl has got some sort of like super intelligence or something? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. Where's the consistency in the character? Do I feel like I wasted my time a little bit, and is that why I'm so frustrated? Yes, because I was so determined for this video that I was going to like finally break my reading slump. And I was so excited to like dedicate a bunch of time into reading. I've not read a book this quickly in maybe like 2 months, and that's only because I dedicated this weekend to reading. That was like my one thing. I didn't get through this book quickly because I was excited to read it because I was gobbling it up. I got through this book quickly because I decided I wasn't going to do anything else this weekend. And this is the thanks I get. You know what? Grayson deserves better than Avery. I'm just going to put it out there. Grayson deserves better. Just choose one, or choose neither of them, and let them all like exist and heal in peace. Let's not waste anyone's time, okay? Anyway, this book has got me more riled up than I thought it would. And I have to say, I wasn't feeling the way that I did towards the end of the book for the whole book. I even like maybe 100 pages before the book finished, I was thinking, okay, if I want to read the next book, do I wait for the next book to come out in the edition that I've got, so I've got matching, or do I borrow it from the library, or do I just buy the paperback, or like, what do I do? I was planning it out in my head, but here we are. Anyway, it's currently almost 3:30. I'm gonna do some groceries, do some errands. I might go to the gym, have a little walk on the treadmill while I listen to an audiobook. But for my next book, I think I'm gonna choose between one of these. So which one should we go for? I think I might be more tempted to go for the Rose Bargain, purely because of the way that Half a Soul is printed. Let me just show you this real quick. Do you see the way the text goes all the way to the bottom of the page? That makes it really difficult because I hold my books like this, right? So for me to read the page, I need to like adjust. Like that's really uncomfortable holding it open when the text is so far down. Like I can't hold the page open. I have also seen recently that Fairy Loot is taking orders for the second book in this series, and I love the Fairy Loot editions of the series so much. I haven't got the Rose Bargain, I've just seen it online. I have seen a few on Facebook Marketplace and I've been really tempted. So I guess depending on if I like this book, I might go buy the Fairy Loot edition. It would be a bit of a splurge, but it is just the most beautiful edition. And then they've brought out the second book in that as well. So yeah, we'll see if I like this book. If I do, if I love it, then I might be getting a new special edition or two, just because they're so beautiful, and they're like really like whimsical, and I love the pastels. Yeah, good vibes. So I'm really hoping, let's manifest together. We are manifesting this being a 4 to 5 star read, a 6-star read, anywhere from a 4 to a 6-star read. I would be super happy because I just need something to motivate me, because I love reading, but I keep reading books that are like super mid. You know, no more mid books in 2026. I've had enough. Okay, well, with that being said, I'm gonna go run some errands, maybe put on an audiobook. For my audiobook, okay, I'm so scattered. For my audiobook, I have been listening to Person in Progress by Gemma Speg. I actually don't know how to say her last name. I think it's Speg. I've been listening to her Psychology of Your 20s podcast for maybe like 2 years, and I love it. And so when she came out with the book, I knew I had to get it, but I do struggle reading nonfiction. But listening to it as an audiobook, it really is just like an extended podcast episode, which is ideal. Because I love her podcast so much. And I love that she like, it's a mixture between like your classic self-help sort of thing. And then she also backs it up with like research and like science and all this stuff, like actual psychology research, which is really, really nice. And you don't get that a lot of times in those kind of podcasts, at least not many that I've come across. So yeah, really enjoying the audiobook of this so far, and it covers like absolutely everything in your 20s. So yeah, that's probably, if I do listen to an audiobook while I'm doing my errands, this is what I will be listening to. Honestly, I might just start reading Rose Bargain tonight before I go to bed, because I feel like I need to give my brain a little rest from reading, like physically, for a while, just to process what has just happened. Hey everyone, it is time for me to finish off this video. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the Rose Bargain before I do. I'm now about halfway through. I'm on page 198 and I am loving this. I'm having such a good time with this. It's honestly a little bit darker than I thought it would be. Like it's definitely got that whimsical aspect that I was expecting, but yeah, it's definitely got some darker vibes to it too. I think the way that it's making me feel is kind of similar to the Emily Wilde series, if you've read that, in that overall, like, cozy kind of vibes, but definitely still high stakes. I think the characters are really interesting. I'm loving the writing. I think the whole society thing is really interesting. I've not read, I think this is Regency era, is that right? But like that era society, the only exposure I have to that is Bridgerton. And so I'm really enjoying reading about this time period, which is great because I've got another book on my TBR in the same sort of like setting, also with Faye, which is Half a Soul. So I'm feeling positive about the fact that I'm enjoying that kind of setup in the Rose Bargain. So these are the books that I read in this video. I read The Inheritance Games, which I think I ended up rating 2 stars, and the Rose Bargain, which so far is giving 4-star energy. So we had a flop and a potential win. I'm not finished yet, but I've got a good feeling about this. So the cozy weekend is over. It's back to sunny skies today, which I feel like usually I'd be really happy about, but I'm kind of sad today that the cozy weather is done. Like I woke up and I looked outside and there's blue sky and I went, oh man. That feels like a bit of a privilege problem, but it's how I feel. I miss the rain, I miss it. That is the end of this video, but if you enjoyed, please feel free to give it a like and comment down below which book you think I should tackle next on my February TBR. I'm really hoping that I'm hoping that I will only have 1 book left on my TBR by the end of this month. I would love to get through all of them, but I think with where I've been at with my reading habit recently, I think it would be realistic to say I'm only going to end up reading 1 more of these before the end of the month. So take your pick, vote in the comments which one do you think I should read. Your choices are Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater and The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig. So take your pick, leave your vote in the comments down below. I'd love to know. I'm about to head off to do a performance for a Broadway mixer night, which I'm really excited for and a little bit scared for. So I'm gonna go have a sing. Thank you again so much for watching and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.